So, Lester, about the UK, right? How's the whole reopening thing looking? Is it like working out? It's like everything's okay.
No, everything is never okay. No,
In relative terms, I mean, it's like,
okay. There's debates going on as always around COVID stuff. I mean, I'm looking at yesterday's stats. We had 42,000 new COVID cases.
yeah, so it's like spreading quick, huh?
Yeah, and our serious, the ones that really we watch is the serious conditions. Those are the ones that get admitted to hospitals, and that's what we've always worried about
Yeah.
because it can quickly overwhelm the health services, and that's also rising. So 121 deaths. Again, that's also rising slowly. They're all rising slowly. There's a ton of testing still going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, people are going on holidays overseas. They're going on planes. There's challenges at Heathrow at the moment
Yeah.
because of the volume of people coming in, which they haven't staffed up for. And is it Heathrow or Gatwick? I can't remember. One of the airports.
I'm pretty
And
sure both. I'm pretty sure both will be quite busy these days.
yeah, so a lot of people are going on holiday, uh, and it's quite an ordeal coming back into the UK. You've got to have a lot of paperwork. You've got to have tests before you come back.
Yeah.
You've got to do another test as soon as you come back, and
But you don't need to quarantine, right? So, like,
it depends on the country you go to.
okay. Okay. So, where's everyone traveling to? I mean, it's like, are people starting to travel to
Wherever they
Europe?
can.
Okay.
I would say mainly Romania.
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 No, I'm just
Romanian
wondering. I'm just
holiday.
wondering. Like, are people like mass invading Scotland and Ireland and like just
That
chilling?
was a bit of last year was a bit like that until Wales and Scotland closed their borders as well.
Oh, okay, they're like, okay, no, that's enough. That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah, time out. The English Riviera, the Cornish
Wow.
coast, Cornish and
Cornish
Devon area,
coast. Yeah.
that generally gets a lot of holiday makers every year anyway. But this year's and last year have been phenomenal. Just the volume of people moving. But we're doing a lot of music festivals.
Okay.
Yeah, baby. But I mean, literally everything's opened up now, hasn't it? Is
Yeah,
that not the thing?
everything's
I
open.
mean, there's nothing,
Every-
there's no restriction on anything really. Or am I incorrect on that?
It's just the travel outside of the borders.
Yeah.
That's where you have challenges. Yeah.
So there's no number restriction on events or anything like that.
No, I'm not sure. Maybe some of the sporting venues haven't opened up yet, or they've opened up with smaller numbers, so they don't sell all the seats. But there's been such a big, a lot of the music festivals have been cancelled this year because there was no confirmation that bands could attend.
Yeah.
And a lot of American bands who are supposed to play these festivals, they've had their slots taken over by somebody else. But geez, everyone's going to festivals.
So
And that's the common thing is now, oh, well, hang on, that's an easy spread of the virus right there. A lot of unvaccinated youths carrying the bug.
So what's interesting is like what I'm seeing in like international space is slightly a bit different, right? Because like I generally go to some international conferences like each year, like for technical stuff, right? But like so there's a big one that's well obviously last year was dead year. Nobody hosted any
Well, did they not
conferences.
go online? I saw a lot of
Yeah,
our
yeah.
conferences
There's
went
like,
online.
but certain stuff like the business part of things that just doesn't work out online. I think the technical aspects like work out online fine because like all you want is content anyway. What you don't get is like that social interaction, where you just basically approach somebody in the exhibition hall and you're just like,
The
okay, let's just
networking.
talk about stuff.
Yeah.
But so there's one conference that I generally go to in Australia. It's a pretty big one in the technical mining space, and they emailed us a newsletter saying, no, this year is still going to be online. This year is still going to be online. We're actually not planning to host any in-person events until 2023. And I'm like, oh, you know.
Nasty.
So it's like, I'm just wondering, it's like, okay, like a lot of different countries are opening up in some shape and form. Maybe for tourism, other stuff and things like that. But like some parts, I'm wondering whether if they're ever going to open up or just stay virtual.
I don't know.
What's your take?
Well,
Well,
I
I think-
suppose I
Yeah.
suppose I was, maybe context, put it in perspective. I went to the virtual open day for University of Pretoria today.
Awesome, man.
Because Becky has been accepted there, so she's going there next year. So
Awesome,
we had
congrats.
yeah.
Nice.
So it's So they were talking about that,
Yeah.
about contact classes. In other words, when are they going to do contact classes again? Especially now that the 18 and above can get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And they say, well, look, they're just going to play it by ear, but they would prefer to have contact classes. But even though, and I mean, this is the interesting part, even though they'll go eventually back to contact classes, but now all the lectures are recorded, so they're going to continue to record them. So you can either go to the class, watch them live, or catch them afterwards.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that changes the dynamics of going to university. And I suppose the
studying.
same thing. But that's what I'm saying is that, like, now the people have three options.
Yeah.
They go to lectures face to face, they
Yeah.
catch it live, or they catch it afterwards. Anyway,
You
but-
know what's also pretty cool? I'm pretty sure that university is also making all the learning material required for, let's say, anyone to complete their tuition available online. So
Yeah,
it's
sure,
like,
sure.
so you don't need to actually go to the lab, like as in sit in the lab, find the book, and just work through that book. Everything is already online, so you can. So I think the cool aspect of that is the fact that it brings the affordability, and I'm not sure how they're going to charge, but they're going to give you an optional, like you can do an in-person degree or an online degree, and there's going to be a price difference between the
Sure,
two.
sure.
So the cool thing is that it will drop the affordability level and allow
Hmm.
more people to actually like pursue their tertiary education.
Well, I was just thinking from the point of view of, let's say, if you wanted to do correspondence
Yeah.
education, traditionally you would have to go to University of South Africa, UNISA, right?
Yeah.
With this now, this means that you can theoretically attend a different university and just do it remotely and catch up the lectures afterwards. So you don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
catch the lectures in real time. So if I wanted to do a specific thing at WITS as an example, or
Yeah.
UP as another example, I could actually study there now,
You can. Yeah.
theoretically,
For sure.
because there's
No,
nothing stopping
practically
me.
you can.
Yeah, well, exactly. Because before, the requirement was that you had to be at lectures.
You can even enroll in UCT.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can even enroll in UCT, and some faculties are like more geared up towards it. Like, for example, sake, if you go for any like comp sci related stuff, man, it's like you can do everything. You can do
You
everything
can do
online.
2 degrees at once
At two different universities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you've got all the time in the world. Yeah.
Geez, dude, I can't even do one, let alone two.
Dude, you can. It's just a mindset.
Slow
dude.
learning curve.
yeah, you just got to reserve yourself to the fact that you're going to get no sleep for the next couple of years. Yeah.
No, but that's
Bio
awesome.
plus.
Yeah, so going back to the conference thing,
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll always be a hybrid thing where some people will join virtually and some people will join physically. And does that mean that you can increase the attendance of a conference and say, okay, there are X amount of people that can be face to face and X amount of, and well, maybe almost unlimited in a sense to have virtual?
Okay, so like it depends on your aims, right?
Yeah.
If your aims is content, right? If your aims is just strictly content, you can actually do a virtual, right? And the issue with the conference, right? So like any technical conference that you go to, the most likely going to be like 3 or 4 really good talks that like deliver on the content side, and the rest is just going to be the filler, because what conference organizers do is like the peer reviews are generally like just a rubber stamp type exercise. Well, unless it's really really bad, in that case they'll bounce you, right? But like there's generally like 3 or 4 really like key speakers that actually pull in the crowd because into streams because they like really knowledge experts, the main experts, and like people want to listen to them. So I think making the option available online is really cool because it basically broadens their reach. Number one, delivers the message and allows more people to actually like listen to the content they want to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not disputing that. I just think, with the people I've spoken to who I normally see at these conventions and such, is a lot of the same people. Um, we go for those odd sessions which are interesting. But we're primarily going because we're so busy work-wise, we never actually get to meet and talk to other people in the industry. So for us, that's primarily what those conferences are for. So doing it online, everyone I've spoken to has been like, yeah, I couldn't be bothered this time. It's only really given me something, and very little. So yeah, I'm not sure what attendance they've actually had on the online presentations.
But
So
think
we'll
about it
see.
this way, like even with the technical stuff, right? Even with like a cutting edge stuff, it's like it's very rare that somebody will present like a cutting edge breakthrough, right? Like a domain level breakthrough, right? Generally, what people do
Sure.
is like it's a lot of technical sales talks where they just pitch something and say, okay, well, it's an advertising spiel for a technical specialist. It's just a really nicely wrapped up and packaged technical advertising spiel. And then you can contact the individual or the company and just basically initiate the discussion.
Yeah, as
You know?
much as, because I've been a speaker at a few of these, and there's a big rule set that we have to follow. It's not a marketing activity. You can have a logo from your company on your slide deck, but you can't go on about how great you are. You have to say, this is the problem. This is how we overcame it. This is how we apply knowledge. This is how we apply experience. This is what we've done in this situation. So you got to be careful on the marketing front. Yeah.
Well,
I think maybe it differs between industries, or maybe if
Yeah.
something like Australia carries on locking down their borders for a few years, maybe the event will start moving somewhere else.
that's
That's
true.
more
That's true.
accessible.
South Africa, go go go!
Oh yeah, there's a
But-
nice little convention
but
center.
Even like organizing
In Cape
events
Town.
in South Africa is like the thing is you need to understand is like you either organize it for local audience or like I would say 80% of your possible international audience is not going to make it because I mean nobody is going to like put themselves through pain of like quarantining after coming back from SA or going to SA. So it's like, plus we're on a red list. We're on a lot of red lists. Like we're on top of a lot of red lists at the moment because of our COVID statistics.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like
the one I go to in Monaco every year. Yeah, Monaco, darling.
oh,
But half the people there, it is a European event, so you get people from all over Europe. But I would say about half the attendees are from the UK. So half the event flies in for this event. Why don't they just do it in the UK? I'm not sure they get the same.
Isn't it an excuse to get out of?
I think it's an excuse to get out and just
Yeah.
It's like having
It's
your
not cheap,
sales
though.
conference at
But does
in
that
Hawaii.
does that conference take place during the Grand Prix by any chance?
They
No, that's always the
they used to have
question.
it in Nice before Monaco, which is just down the road.
Oh,
from
that's
Monaco.
rough.
So there was once that they had it on, because it was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or something, and the Grand Prix started that weekend. So we all ditched it to go and watch the practice session on the Friday. We all showed up to Monaco, and we were surrounded by loads of people from the same convention. So
Obviously, you're not the only
never
one with that.
again never again did the dates clash.
Oh. So I'm pretty sure like 90% of the attendees just said, so, okay, we're calling us and we're just going to watch the Grand Prix. No, that's awesome. But I think it's like it's different for like technical space. For business space, you need that in-person interaction because it's like it's very difficult to like buy trust like via virtual events. I don't know what you need to do like to actually like buy trust in terms of like you can see the person, you're talking to them and stuff like that. I'm wondering, right? Completely virtual augmented reality. Is it going to come in and take a part of that space in the near future?
Probably, yeah, I would imagine so.
Lester?
I think it's going to be different because one of the things that always happens in my events is that there's several speakers going on in different parts of the venue at the same time. So if you want to be in two places at once, you can't be. So I think there is a need to record all these sessions and have them available afterwards. I mean, you can get some of the slide decks accessible afterwards, but it's the interaction. What sort of questions are these people asked at the end of their presentations? How, you know, how do you get hold of people to find out more? You know, all of that stuff you can put online and have them accessible. And also, yeah, you can't always make it. There's always something. And if you want to have a meeting, and I have a lot of my diaries packed in these sessions, and I actually struggle to get to the speakers.
Yeah.
And you got to be flexible. You're only there for a few days, and you're trying to squeeze in as much as you can. So yeah, you if you want to watch a session but not wait till you get home, you got half an hour on your lunch break. You could just quickly get on your phone and watch it that way. That way, you're still abreast of the big speakers of the day. Yeah, I think it. Look, these guys have saved a lot of money, I suppose. Hopefully, by not holding the events, and it's the virtual way of doing things is a lot cheaper, so they hopefully still have invested in the technology to be able to do that. But at the same time, yeah, just having the accessibility to things. I think it's going to be different when we go back to having these things. And maybe people are too scared of COVID as well, and are still going to be a bit reticent to go.
Think about it this way, like the domain level experts in any industry, they're most likely guys in their 60s, right? Or 50s. You know, it's by default, you know, it's like
I'm not 50 yet.
No, but still, you know the domain level expert, unless you're talking about like some sort of like a hacking event, right? In that case, the domain level experts tend to be like 16 and 15.
Yeah, faced youths.
You know, it's like, you know, that's fine, you know, but like if you're talking about like hardcore engineering or like a technical event, most of the guys are going to be older and they're going to be asking themselves the question, do I need to put myself through the risk of actually going there? Or do I just pre-record it and send it to them? You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So have you attended any like...
Virtual.
So the other thing I was going to
Yeah,
say.
Microsoft stuff.
And? Like your impression?
Well, I suppose it's just like hooking up to a team event that we would in a corporate space. You know, like they'll have a global IM town hall and they'll have this team event and you just click in there and they're doing their presentation and you can comment and
But
they
I
can pick up the...
was generally not engaging, not very engaging. Like Microsoft one, like
Yeah,
what was the
Microsoft one...
level? What was the level of the pitch, you know?
Well, it's the same as you would go to like the normal dev event that you would normally go to.
Okay.
You know, because they do those like sort of like very quick, like 20 minutes or 40 minutes sessions where they've already got a pre-configured thing and they're just showing you specific stuff. So they've done a lot of sort of pre-coding before they get there. They've set up the example, but they just want to show you one new bit of functionality, which is let's say almost like an add-on or an extension from last year's. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been to two events in a row. Like sometimes what you do is you go like, what you go this year, and then you would skip next year, and then you would go the year after, because
Yeah.
even though things are moving quickly, in inverted commas, the core thing stays the same. It's just minor tweaks as you're going along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say they bring out 4 cumulative updates during the year.
So you
So if you
basically
go the
you
next
basically
year-
go there for the content and just to get that content very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want to see what the new functionality is. So
Yeah.
it's like almost like if you skip a year, then you see a distinct change in you see a distinct change and a greater advancement in whatever tech that they've
Yeah.
created. It's like where you go from one year to the next year, you almost see the same demo as last year, and there's such a small. It's like almost like you feel like it's a waste of your time, kind of thing.
Okay, so it's
What
like
they're
so
doing
incremental.
this year,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. What they're doing this year is they inviting people, the public people, to submit, to apply, to present as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is they're making the event a lot bigger. So by making it virtual, they can, the numbers are not like contained. And now they're getting people from all around the world.
And the content, obviously.
Yeah, because what they would do is they would normally move almost like the road show, if you want to call it, through different countries. So like
Yeah.
in January, they would be in Joburg, or January, February, they would be in Joburg. Then they would go to Vegas, and then they would go here, and then they would go there, and so on and so on. Now they're just having one dev event, like in November, and like anyone from the world can connect. And then they asking people or giving people an opportunity to come and present.
That's
So
really
you
awesome.
submit, you apply and you submit what you're going to talk about and what you want to demo, and then they'll like say yay or nay or whatever. Yeah, so
That's
I'm
all
looking
well and
forward to
good,
that.
but what if you're not on the same time zone as the US?
Well, yeah, I suppose that is that is the issue. But as with a lot of those things that they do with Microsoft, is that it's always available afterwards on their Channel 9 website. So you can always go and watch it again or catch it if you didn't catch it. Or because sometimes you go to these conferences and then you look at the thing and you say, oh, man, I'd like to go to that and I want to go to that, but they're at the same time. So what you do is you go watch the one and then the other one you just make a note of, and then you catch the video
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah.